Hello everyone, welcome to this special episode. Today we start English for IELTS and get ready to study in the UK and Europe, one of the most important English exams in the world. And yes, James is here with me.
Of course, Ella, I can't miss this one. IELTS is a very popular exam. Many students need it for studying abroad, working in another country, or even for immigration.
Yes, and IELTS means International English Language Testing System. It checks how good your English is in 4 areas: listening, reading, writing, and speaking.
Exactly. And there are 2 main types of IELTS. The first one is academic IELTS. People take this test when they want to study in universities abroad.
The second one is General Training IELTS. This one is for work, training programs, or migration purposes. Both are important, but the academic one is usually harder.
Harder, yes, but don't worry, we will explain everything step by step. For example, the listening test is the same for both academic and general.
And the speaking test is also the same. Only the reading and writing parts are a bit different.
That's right. So if you are planning to go to university, you need the academic version. If you just want to move to another country for work or migration, you can take the general version.
Many students are nervous about IELTS. They think it's impossible. But really, with the right preparation and practice, you can get a good score.
Yes, preparation is everything. For example, just knowing the test format helps you feel more confident. If you know the structure, nothing will surprise you on test day.
That's a very good point. In IELTS, scores go from 1 to 9. Band 9 means expert, almost native level English. Band 6 or 7 is usually enough for university.
And many immigration programs ask for at least band 6 in each skill. So knowing your goal is important before you start preparing.
Yes, don't just say, I want band 9. Think about your target. Do you need 6.5 for university or 7 for work? Setting a goal helps you plan your study.
Exactly. For example, if your current level is band 5 and your goal is band 7, you will need more time and practice.
And today we just want to introduce IELTS and explain why it's so important. In the next parts, we will talk about each skill in detail.
But even in this introduction, we can give some small tips. For example, try to practice English every day. Listen, read, write, and speak a little bit every day.
Yes, IELTS is not only a test of knowledge, it's a test of how well you can use English in real situations.
That's why we're doing this podcast, to make English practice easy and fun. So, Ella, we talked about the basics of IELTS, what it is, why people take it, and the 2 main types, academic and general training. Today, I think we should go a little deeper. Let's start with the structure of the test.
Good idea. Because honestly, many learners feel lost when they hear IELTS. They don't know what's waiting for them in the exam room. So let's make it simple. The IELTS test has 4 parts: listening, reading, writing, and speaking.
Exactly. And there's something important here. The listening and speaking tests are the same for both academic and general training. But reading and writing are slightly different depending on which version you're taking.
Right. For example, in reading, the academic test gives you passages from books, journals, magazines, and newspapers, more like university-level texts. But in general training, the texts are simpler, often things like notices, advertisements, or instructions.
That's a good point. And in writing, academic students usually have to describe a graph, chart, or diagram for task 1, while general training students often write a letter. But task 2 is always an essay for both.
Now, I want to break down the timing too, because timing is what really stresses people. Listening is about 30 minutes. Reading is 60 minutes. Writing is 60 minutes, and speaking is 11 to 14 minutes. So the whole test takes around 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yes, and here's a tip for learners. You don't get extra time to transfer answers in reading or writing, so you must manage every minute carefully. In listening, you get 10 extra minutes to transfer answers if you take the paper-based test, but not in the computer-based one.
I remember when I first learned that difference, I thought, oh, computer-based test means I'm safe. But no, you have to type your answers directly, no transfer time.
True. Now, let's also explain the band scores. IELTS doesn't give you a pass or fail. Instead, you get a score from 1 to 9 for each section and then an overall band score.
Yes, for example, Band 9 means you're an expert user of English. Band 6 means you're a competent user, but you make mistakes. Universities usually ask for Band 6.5 or 7, depending on the country and the subject.
And immigration purposes sometimes require a specific band score too. For example, some countries might say you need at least band 7 in each skill, not just overall.
That's so important. People think only the overall score matters, but no, sometimes the individual scores are just as important. Imagine scoring 8 in reading, 8 in listening, 7.5 in speaking, but only 5 in writing. Your average may look fine, but universities may reject you because your writing is too low.
Yes, that happens a lot. So if you're preparing, focus on your weakest skill, because one weak score can block your dream.
Exactly. And later, we'll share practical strategies for each part. But for now, learners should just remember 4 parts, clear timing, and a band score system from 1 to 9. That's the foundation.
Perfect. Without this clear picture, preparation feels confusing. But once you know the structure, you can start making a study plan. All right, James, now that we've explained the structure and timing of the IELTS test, I think it's time we focus on each part one by one. Let's start with listening, since it's always the first section of the exam.
Good choice. Listening feels simple at first because you're just hearing English conversations and writing answers. But actually, it's tricky. Many students lose marks because they don't understand the format. So let's break it down.
Sure. The listening test has 4 sections. Each section gets harder. In section 1, you usually hear a conversation between 2 people, maybe booking a hotel room or making a travel plan. In section 2, you hear one person giving information, like a tour guide or a lecturer. Section 3 is another conversation, usually with 3 or 4 people, maybe students discussing a project. And section 4 is always a lecture, more academic, with no pauses for questions.
Exactly. And the total number of questions is 40. Every correct answer gives you 1 point. Then your raw score is converted into a band score from 1 to 9.
Yes, and what makes listening hard is that you only hear the recording once. There's no replay. So if you miss something, it's gone. That's why you need strategies.
One great strategy is to read the questions before the audio starts. The test gives you a little time to do this. Use that time well. For example, if the question says, "What is the man's telephone number?" you know you should listen carefully for numbers.
Right. Another trick is to underline key words. If the question says, "The train to London leaves at," underline train and London and leaves. That way, your brain is ready to catch the answer when you hear it.
Exactly. And spelling matters too. If the answer is February and you write February, you lose the point. So practice spelling common words like months, days, places, and names.
Oh, I remember a funny story. One student wrote sheep instead of ship and got the answer wrong. The examiner won't guess what you mean. It has to be correct spelling.
That's true. And numbers can be tricky as well. If the speaker says 15, but you write 50, you lose the point. So practice listening carefully to numbers and distinguishing them.
Another thing, sometimes the speakers correct themselves. Like they may say, the phone number is 325. Oh, sorry, 235. You must pay attention to the correction. The second version is the correct one.
Yes, And accents are another challenge. The test uses different accents: British, American, Australian, New Zealand. So don't just practice with American movies. Listen to BBC, Australian podcasts, and different English speakers.
Thank you so much for practicing with us in this series. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and share. Your support helps us make more lessons for you.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep practicing. Stay confident.
See you next time and stay chill.